An Austin business is out nearly $80,000 tonight, and if you or your business accepts digital payments, this could happen to you.
Bank officials say fraudsters overtook accounts, bought products, waited a month, and then reversed the deposits, leaving the business empty-handed. And as investigative reporter Jenny Lee discovers, legal protection from bank fraud depends on who you are.
Repairing laptops, configuring computers.
Can we make some bubbles?
Even making bubble wrap. All activities that haven't changed at CTS Mobility in North Austin, a company that provides businesses with mobile technology.
Another aspect is lifecycle management, where customers rely on us to procure their hardware.
Hardware like Apple devices. Items Arturo Monsive says were part of a scheme that cost his business tens of thousands of dollars.
There were multiple orders placed over a period of 30 days.
In March and April of 2025, Monsive says 2 new customers made 8 purchases, prepaid a little more than $77,900 after a reference by an existing CTS customer.
Once the money was in our bank account, we placed the order. The devices were delivered to the customer.
So far, so normal.
No red flags.
Until May, when Monsive says deposit reversals withdrew $77,909.88 out of their account, leaving the company without the money or their products.
And then it was literally, figuratively, ripped away from us.
Monsive says they reported the crime to all the banks involved and to authorities, but he hasn't gotten his money back. The KVUE Defenders contacted all the financial institutions involved: Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and USAA. USAA told us fraudsters unlawfully gained access to the account of one of its clients, a woman in her 90s, and made nearly $78,000 worth of Apple purchases from CTS. When the elderly woman discovered the unauthorized transactions, she reported it. USAA investigated and initiated deposit reversals. Spokesperson for Wells Fargo Bank confirms it processed the automated clearinghouse returns consistent with natural rules and industry standards. An ACH transaction is an electronic money transfer like direct deposits or direct payments through apps like Venmo.
Or receive direct deposits while you're on the go. Hey, I just got paid.
The National Automated Clearinghouse Association is a non-government agency that regulates ACH. A NACHA spokesperson denied our request for an interview and referred our questions to its website. A spokesperson for Bank of America said Bank of America did not facilitate the ACH transactions in dispute, and we have no ability to undo them. We also reached out to Paya, the merchant service provider for CTS. That's a system that allows businesses to accept credit cards, debit cards, and digital payments like Apple Pay. A Paya spokesperson said, quote, "We recognize the growing impact of financial loss from consumer returns on small businesses and sympathize with those affected. Paya acts as a third-party ACH processor and does not hold consumer accounts or determine whether transactions are authorized," end quote.
I think everyone's surprised.
It turns out when it comes to the law and bank fraud protection, the difference is night and day for consumers and businesses. That's why the elderly woman whose account was taken over was reimbursed her losses, while CTS Mobility has not been reimbursed. Companies are left to absorb losses that individual customers would never face.
There are different nuances for business customers and consumer customers, and I don't think everyone realizes that.
Victoria Stevens is an attorney with the Texas Bankers Association. She says federal law places a bigger burden on businesses.
It is really important that businesses be paying attention to those agreements that they have in place with their bank or financial institution and really review those contracts, because while these rules have a set of guidelines, again, it allows it to be varied by agreement. So the number of days for reporting and what's considered timely, all of that can vary slightly depending on bank and customer.
According to a recent industry study, unauthorized party attacks, like what happened to CTS, now make up for 71% of losses. Account takeovers are one of the fastest growing types of bank fraud.
That's where they make these purchases and wait until there's been enough time so that the purchase looks like a legitimate one, and then they do a chargeback. It's unfortunately a growing issue and something that people should definitely be on the lookout for.
Account takeovers are such a problem that the FBI recently issued a public service announcement. Since January of 2025, the FBI Internet Crime Complaint Center got more than 5,100 complaints with losses totaling more than $262 million. The Texas Bankers Association is also raising awareness.
The IRS just called and said that.
Ooh, probably not. Yeah, it's a classic scam. Snap out of it.
Fraud in Texas is definitely on the rise, and Austin is no exception to that.
Back at CTS, new business protocols are underway.
We're trying to do as much as we can to be as prudent as we can.
As Montsabeh tries to prevent future fraud, he's also looking into all options on how to get his company's money back.
Losing $80,000 hurts, for sure.
A pricey and difficult lesson learned. For the KVUE Defenders,
It's a hard one.
I'm Jenny Lee.
Now, Austin police transferred this case to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office since the shipment of Apple products was sent to the Compton area. We have tips on how to protect yourself from bank fraud on our website, KVUE.com. And if you have a tip for the KVUE Defenders to investigate, send an email to defenders@KVUE.com or call us at 512-533-2231.